Fox News has not been having a good time this week. Donald Trump's economic numbers are a disaster. All the polls show it. Right-wing polling shows it. Left-wing polling shows it. Moderate polling shows it. Everybody feels the squeeze. The unemployment rate is rising. Inflation has ticked up. This is the slowest pace of hiring this country has seen since 2009, excluding the pandemic. We've had a record number of layoffs this year, the most layoffs we've had since COVID. And so people are upset. You can't run on the golden age of America on day one and it be almost a year in and everybody is worse off. And so Fox has been trying to deal with this and it hasn't been a good time. But luckily, we have one of my favorite people, Jessica Tarlov, to push back live on air. So we're going to watch this clip of Jessica Tarlov pushing back in a second. But first, I want to show you this. Look at this poll from Fox News that they were forced to show. It's really not a video. It's just a picture. Voters on economic conditions. 76% feel, quote, not so good or poor about the economy. And 62% blame Trump for current economic conditions. That's a Fox News poll, 62%. And if I was a Republican right now moving toward the midterms, I'd be shitting myself, right? We saw a few weeks ago the Tuesday elections where we had essentially a blue wave all across the country, in Georgia, in Mississippi, in New Jersey, in New York, etc., right? We also saw, as I record this video on Wednesday, December 10th, yesterday, there were elections in Georgia, a House district that was a plus 12 district in 2024 for Trump. Democrats flipped it. A Democrat won the Miami mayoral race for the first time in almost 30 years yesterday. And so, again, if I was a Republican right now looking at this, it's time to start turning the page on Trump if you want a chance to win in the midterms. And I know that's been said a lot. You know, he was the Hollywood Access guy, the Hollywood Access tape, before the election, where he's saying awful, horrible things about women. That was supposed to be the end of his political career. So was January 6th. So was the first impeachment, the second impeachments, the indictments, being found liable for sexually abusing a woman, the racist, awful rhetoric he speaks every day. This, I would argue, however, is uniquely bad for Donald Trump. He cannot escape this, okay? He's in office right now. He's promised the world, and it's starting to crumble at his feet. And like I said, Fox isn't having a good time trying to deal with this. Take a listen to Jesse Waters here.
Next year is going to be insane. We're going to have multiple rate cuts. Housing costs are going to come down. And incomes are going to go up because the big, beautiful bill kicks in. That means no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And that's when you get all the business tax cuts. Also, that's when all the foreign investment comes in. And so you're going to see these big AI centers sprout up. And next year, they're projecting to be the greatest economic year since the 80s. Now, will it be enough to save the Republicans in the midterms? Probably not. But that's okay. This is a long-term deal. You're going to lose the House. You may keep the Senate. I'll take that. But for the Democrats...
Wow. Okay, first of all, that is an unbelievable level of cope from Jesse Waters. Okay, at the end, literally just giving up on the midterms. Okay, it's not even 2026 yet. It's still 2025. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty much over. But it's a long-term play. Also, what is he talking about? He's like, they predict it'll be the best economic year since the 80s? Who's they? I mean, the Fed was just talking a few hours ago, Jerome Powell, about how inflation is rising and it's sticky and the tariffs, like I just listed all these stats about the labor market, unemployment. I don't know who they is. Maybe they is just, the producers on Fox, the fuckers, frankly, who have sold out their soul for Donald Trump in pictures at Mar-a-Lago. They're saying it's the best year since the 80s, but Americans are calling BS. But the cope there is unreal, just like accepting defeat already. Let me show you one more clip before I go back to the Jessica Tarlov clip, because you got to see this, okay? On Fox News, it can feel infuriating when they all just sit around and agree with each other, but having somebody like Jessica Tarlov there to always push back and do so brilliantly and eloquently is amazing. She's one of my favorite people. Let me show you one more clip, though. Again, this is from in the past week, essentially, Fox having to deal with this news about bankruptcies. And we're seeing a record high number of bankruptcies that are really hitting small businesses hard. And Fox just, the people on this panel just melt down. They don't even try. They just start looking like little children, toddlers up here. Take a look.
Of high debt and even higher costs. Mom and pop bankruptcies are surging, new record. Over 2,200 have filed under the subchapter, is it V or 5? I don't even know. Rules this year, up 8% compared to 2024. Okay, Okay, so Dagan, explain. This is like a relatively new way to declare bankruptcy. It came about in 2020. Is it representative of trouble among small businesses or not? What do you think?
No, it's not. And so I'm going to take issue with the entire framing of this segment.
Okay.
Take that, Brian.
I got up at 3 in the morning to write this segment.
It's not.
Didn't even eat breakfast.
Record bankruptcies! No.
It's an easy get out of jail card.
Yes, okay. So it's only been around
5
for 5 years.
4, actually.
4. Marcus. That's Marcus in the background.
Well, I guess he knows something about it too. You can write this segment next time.
It is a category, by definition, that made it easier to go bankrupt. Marcus is nodding. Yes, correct. So why wouldn't this number go up if people took advantage of it who it enabled people to go bankrupt easier, so
they're
by
going
the
bankrupt.
very logic, it would go up because...
I'm going to spare you from the rest of this minute. What is going on? What is she talking about? This whole clip is just like her melting down. I disagree with the entire segment because it's a new way to file bankruptcy. And because you can file bankruptcy, it means people are going to file for bankruptcy. What are you talking about? Okay, again, along with all these other economic data, excuse me, it's very clear, especially with the tariffs and the rising inflation, this is crushing these small businesses, these mom and pop shops. She says, I take issue with the entire segment. I take issue with the fact that you have enough Botox in your face where when you're trying to yell across to the effing producer, like your mouth doesn't even move. I'm sorry, that's rude. I usually don't attack people's looks, but I'm very sick and tired of these individuals who care more about their pictures at Mar-a-Lago and their success on Fox News and their success sucking up to Trump than anything else. They've sold out their values, they've sold out their morals, they've sold out my future, our Constitution, for whatever this is. And so I tend to not spare words. Let's go back to the original clip. Jessica Tarlov, again, this is from the last 24 hours when Trump was giving his economic address in Pennsylvania. And let's take a look at what Jessica Tarlov has to say as the Fox hosts are talking about the fact that Trump inherited this awful Biden economy. Take a listen.
Jessica, one of the things that President Trump will do, no doubt, is to remind people that the economy that he inherited from Biden was the one that ramped up inflation. So because the media will always pick up on Democratic attacks like Shapiro, Newsom, et cetera, then President Trump, I think, getting out there will at least try to prevent any ground being gained by Democrats there.
He's going to try to, but the argument that the guy who's been out for a year, that it's all his fault when you've implemented a totally new economic agenda and that it's a failure in basically every corner of it is not really resonating with people. When Joe Biden's inflation number was over 9%, the entire world's inflation number was up. Donald Trump doesn't have the same issues that Joe Biden did. He doesn't have a supply chain problem. He doesn't have a global health pandemic that was killing millions of people all over the world. He's just setting our economy on fire, and not in the good way, in like the dumpster fire way. The A++++ grade, obviously that's ridiculous. But there are some key indicators that Donald Trump and his administration knows that this is going really badly. First, Susie Wiles having to go out there and say he's going to get back on the campaign trail. That'll really animate the right. Well, guess what? It'll animate the left as well. We aren't getting the jobs numbers anymore, the GDP numbers, or the inflation numbers. And we know that Donald Trump, if a number is even remotely good or he can lie about it, he tells you what it is. Layoffs on track for Great Recession levels. ABC says 70% are spending more on their groceries, 60% more on utilities. Reuters, manufacturing has been contracting for 9 months straight. And this farmer bailout, $12 billion of his tariff pot, which he didn't need to put the tariffs in the first place. And the farmers are speaking out about this. This is Donald Trump's problem. He's the one who caused this. The head of the National Black Farmers Association, agriculture in this country has been in complete turbulence and turmoil since the president got elected. This is a man-made crisis.
Wow. Systematic evisceration from Jessica Tarlov. And a couple of points there that I think are really good are, number one, again, because of this rising executive authority, where Donald Trump is essentially mass firing, these federal workers at 3-letter agencies, civil servants, and replacing everybody in the executive branch with loyalists, which we've really never seen before, this unitary executive theory, fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics after the numbers were rigged, and replaced that person with the new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics who doesn't believe in the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And that's not a joke. He's like, spent his whole career talking about how like he doesn't believe in the Bureau of Labor Statistics, whatever that means. And so coincidentally, we're not getting any of these numbers anymore. We're not getting the inflation data. We're not getting the unemployment data. I wonder why. It's because all of these things, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the FBI, the CDC, the EPA, whatever, the SEC, now they're just political wings. They're there for the president to use, Donald Trump to use, to his advantage politically. And so the BLS won't release that data. And Americans, again, are calling BS. Everybody knows it's not good. Everybody, frankly, the clear vast majority of people are in a worse place now than they were a year ago. There's no question. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. We have momentum right now. I think if you go back 6 months and you say, oh, Chris, in 6 months, we're going to be feeling good. We're going to be feeling energized. I would look at you like you're crazy. But here we are. We've got some energy. We've got some momentum. Democrats are winning special elections. Got to keep it up. Got to just keep pushing. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure your friends are registered to vote. We will get through this time in American history. I appreciate you watching this video. Truly, it means a lot. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. You guys are all the best. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.